So this is Baruch Fleischman here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, and what I'm going to try now, what I've been wanting to try and want to get into teaching, so I'm trying to learn it myself, is the RASHASH. The RASHASH is considered by Kabbalists to be an extension of the Ari. He gets more into more detail. The Ari only lived 38 years. The RASHASH has much more time. He built the yeshiva in Bet El. He was a tremendous Kabbalist. So he writes in detail, and it's necessary to know a couple of things. First is this is called a Kavanah. What a Kavanah means is a Kavanah in its way is the highest possible thing that you could do in prayer, is to be miskaven. But there's a proper Kavanah and an improper Kavanah, all kinds of them. But to find the proper Kavanah, you really have to know some Kabbalah, what's going on. So now we're going to try to talk about this prayer called Hodu. Now, Hodu in the Sephardi is what really the Ari talks about, and so therefore, since the RASHASH is also Sephardic, you have to be able to translate in between in Sephardic if you're not Sephardic, which I'm not, but you have to be able to listen to this in order to be able to see it. Now, the Nusach Sfard and the Lubavitch Nusach, Tidas Hashem, I'm not sure what they call it exactly right now, are all follow the same format. The Ashkenaz, they'll have a different format, and that's just the way it is. So here we're going to go look at the RASHASH, and the RASHASH is going to try to explain to us why we say Hodu here at this point. Now, Hodu is the beginning of Pesukei de Zimra. So why do we say it? So we must say that the Korbanos refers to Olam Asiyah, and through the Korbanos in two different places, we've learned this previously, there is a step-by-step, level-by-level of the Chabad Chagat Nai of Zer Anpin, of Zer Anpin to move up. To move up, that is that the bottom moves to the middle and the middle moves to the top. It's a complicated little deal. I don't remember it all, but we've discussed it before in other shiurim. At any rate, after that, you come to Pesukei de Zimra. Now, Zemer is a song, but it has another meaning too, which you're going to talk about a little bit. So all this has to be thought about, and let's see what he says. I'll do the best I can to explain, and if I can't, I can't, and what can I do? He says, Acher kach yomer Hodu. So after you finish the Karbanos, which is Olam Asiyah, now what we're doing is we're moving the top of Asiyah, which is the Chabad of Asiyah, into the Olam Yetzirah, into the bottom of Olam Yetzirah. This is how the movement goes. Every part of these four parts of davening, which are the Korbanos, then the Pesukei de Zimra, which we're talking about right now. Then after that is the part with him called Yotzer, but it refers to Kriya Shema, what happens there. And then finally the fourth part is in the Shemona Esrei. So this is the first part ending, and now starting the second part. Now why you need the second part, that's his question. So he says like that, he said, V'yanu ki hine agidei mitzvahs and maisius. Shekvar asinu shehem atalis katan v'talis godol. Nistalkul v'nifredu. This causes a separation of the klipos, of Olam Yetzirah, me'al ha-Yetzirah, from being on Yetzirah, because all of these mitzvahs have brought down enough light to be able to shatter the klipos. So v'hinech v'ata, Sha'ala Penimios Kachbad Asiyah. So what happened is the very top, the head of Asiyah, of Olam Yetzirah, had been growing and growing because of what was below it came on top of it, and they started growing. It moved up to the bottom, that is the Kachbad Asiyah, that's Keser Chachbad Bin and Das of Asiyah. But Na'asa Chitzonius, the Chitzonius, and it became the outside of what was previously the outside of the Nai, the Yetzirah. Now, in order to understand this, you really have to have a good idea where the Chabad Chagat Nai is. It's Rosh Toch Sof. So the top clings itself onto the bottom. So that's called, but of the world above it. So it's a world of it's a different world. It's a world of Pesukei de Zimra and not of Korbanos. It's not action anymore. Now he has a different take on this, and we'll have to see what he sees pshat in this. So yesh pachad pen yakso ha-klipos the Yetzirah. So the problem is like this. Maybe the klipos that were, because you put on talis tefillin and you daven, you say Korbanos and so on and so forth, you removed You made a place for the top of Olam Asiyah to cling onto to the bottom of only Yetzirah. Now we're afraid that they're going to come back. Lahachziro behem ki anta chitzonis the Yetzirah, because now what's on the outside of the chitzonis Yetzirah is Gerua Ba'arko. It's really a lower level. It's really lower level. It's a Asiyah's dik, Shuhu Mechabad Asiyah, because it comes from the top of Asiyah. So what do you do in order to fix this problem? It's a big problem. That's the reason why he wants to say that we say Hodu. So what you need to do is like this, to lift up the klipos that surround the Nai, the Yitzira. So let's say they come back because you're not doing that anymore. You actually moved from Yitzira up into Yitzira. They just move it out. You move it up, and it'll go into the Chagat instead. Shalom. This is your Kavanah. He says, this is what you should think. And when you go to say Hodu, that what you're doing is you're moving. He said, let me read it again. Because you're holding on. That is, this Chabad, the Sia is holding on to the Nai of Yitzira, and now the Klipos are there. So what do? You say this Hodu, and it moves the Klipos out. And they become part of a higher level of Yitzira, a more panimistic level of Yitzira, which is called the Chagad of Yitzira, a Dugmas of Gedusha, which is similar to Gedusha. And I'm not sure what the meaning of that is. Similar to Gedusha is not Gedusha, because we have a klal here that the Chagad Nai is exposed to Klipos. That above that, the Chabad is not. It's more pure in every world, every universe. So let's go on. Let's see what else. I don't really meant like that. So therefore, what do we do? Because we had this situation, we're going to say Hodu. So what do we do? Lahazmin. Remember, this is Pesuki de Zimra. Lahazmin of the Kitos of Kedusha, to prepare or to bring around the Kitos of Kedusha, Hashem, that they should make a praise of Hashem. Let's see, was the Hazmin, the Kitos of Kedusha, all the different, I guess he means like they say, like we said, the Malachim of Kedusha, that they should start saying these praises to Hashem. V'yizamro, this is where Spolsuka de Zimra, Zamro means also to prune. And that you take this time. This is what Pesuki. He said this is the Pshat Pesuki de Zimra. There are praises, but these praises are like also a pruning fork or pruning. The pincers that cut off branches. So the zemer haklipos, for the pruning of the klipos, in order to humble them down. And through this, so this very top part of the Siyah, which is now calling the Heichel Kodshei Kodashim, because this is what we want to do. We want to bring our level into the higher level. The Hiyos Kagufa Yitzira, be like the body of Yitzira itself, Mamash. The Makabal Neshama Yisvaha, and then from there we get a Neshama and a radiance from that. Yisera Menachi the Yitzira from the Nai of Yitzira, so they'll combine like, let's read it again. So he says you have the Kodshei Kodashim Yitzira, Kaguf the Yitzira becomes like the body of Yitzira itself, Mamish. And as a result of being like the body of there, this is what the Hodus does, but in the Shema it becomes a Makabal, it's able to receive from that position. The Shema V'ha'ara Yisera Menai Yitzira, an additional amount of Shefa coming to it from the lower part of Yitzira. So since itself is really part of Asiyah, but now it's being able to pick up this Shefa as a result of our saying Hodu. And you should have Kavanah specifically at your Kavanah. What you're thinking is like this. So as you're saying Pesuki de Zimra, what you're doing is you're cutting away the klipos of your life. This is Baruch Fleischman. That's been the Tikkun Elevator Kolo.